This is Sierra 5 Kilo Oscar Victor welcoming you to my channel. To subscribe, it's free. My call sign in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is Sierra 5 Kilo Oscar Victor. No, I'm not a real life pilot, so everything you will see or hear in my channel, it's not for a real life action. Welcome back to Sierra 5 Kilo Oscar Victor channel. In last sessions, we took a look at some indicators on our left side, like airspeed indicator, a clock, attitude indicator, altimeter, turn coordinator, suction gauge, directional indicator, and rate of climb or descent indicator. Today I would like to focus on the right side. There are some instruments that work together with other parts of aircraft. So let's get closer into right side instrument. Let's take a look at tachometer. It shows us at what speed the engine and propeller are turning. Green arc shows normal operating range and red line present maximum limit. Maximum limit is at 2550 RPMs. Next instrument we will take a short look at is Amperemeter. It shows whether the battery is charging or being drained. If alternator is not working or is turned off when the engine is running, then all consumers will drain battery. But if alternator is running, the battery is being charged. Under Amperemeter there is also red indicator light that shows us when battery is being drained. Now we will take a closer look to ADF indicator and also how to tune and select ADF indicator. ADF consists of two elements. One is indicator that shows the heading of NDB, and the second one is the selector of frequency for this NDB. NDB means non-directional beacon. Now we will take a closer look how does it work together, ADF and NDB. Since pictures and video tell more than hundreds or thousand words, I will jump in the cockpit and check our charts for Maribor Airport, and then we will see what we can do. Here we have VFR chart from Maribor Airport. There are two non-directional radio beacons in Maribor Airport. These two NDBs are called Mike Romeo and Mike India. They emit radio signal in all directions at all time. If we take a closer look to standard arrival chart instrument for runway 32 at Maribor, we see these NDBs that are settled. One is Mike India and one is Mike Romeo. They both have next to their names also Morse code, so that you can listen in cockpit if you are tuned to the correct NDB. The frequency you should tune in are stated above names of these NDBs. So for Mike India, the frequency is 355 kHz, and for Mike Romeo, the frequency is 334 kHz. Now let us jump in the cockpit and turn on ADF instrument. Welcome to the cockpit at Maribor Airport. Here is our map for arrival procedure from Valu, from Petov, from Golova, and from east side. This is from Hungary, this is from Austria, Ljubljana, and from Croatia arrival. So let's, as we see, the arrival is always on Mike Romeo NDB, and from there we can follow Mike India, and our runway is straight ahead. We can keep Mike Romeo on our back instrument and forward Mike India. We can also see the holding pattern here at Mike Romeo that that is heading also in the runway 32 direction. Okay, now let's tune our frequency. First power on, fuel on, mixture reach. Let's prime a little bit. Then beacon light on so that everybody on the airfield will know we are starting the engine. Okay, we are on. Our instruments are leveling up. Our heading indicator is the correct orientation. Parking brake is set. Now if we move here to our ADF indicator, we can at first turn it on, make volume high, and we can switch to ADF. Now as we saw our ADF, we can see we are at the airport at parking place 3. We can try to tune in 334 for Mike Romeo. For Mike Romeo NDB. So 3, 3, 4. If we would be high enough, we would receive the signal. But apparently this is too far away, so I will set the frequency to 355 for Mike India. 355, and if we have signal, the needle should jump and point to the direction from where we are receiving the signal. So we are receiving signal from this waypoint, let's say for our aircraft. If our aircraft is pointing this way, the signal is coming from, let's say, 8 o'clock, so from this way roundabout. And this is also pretty much where the runway starts. So we are on the spot. So we are now receiving this signal, but in order to be sure, we can check it with the audio and Morse code. 2 long beeps for M and 2 short beeps for I. Let's try to hear that one out. So here we can just click ADF, beacon receiver audio, and hopefully we will hear 2 long and 2 short beeps. Long and too short. That confirms that we have actually MI or Mike India NDB on our ADF pointer. Well, in order to see how this works in real life, I suggest we go up in the air and try to follow our NDBs with our automatic direction finder. One will find our MI, this is Mike India NDB, and further out there is Mike Romeo, which is not receivable on our spot where we are now. So here we are in airplane above the field. It says we started from Ptu airport, but we actually just started here, and we will turn to Mike Romeo NDB, and then to Mike India NDB, and then try to land at Maribor airport. So we are flying blindly now. Let's say we don't know which way the airport is. So we are flying nice and easy, and since now we have to level up, because I just came in the cockpit and let's say we want to fly to our mic Romeo indicator 334 frequency. I can turn on. I can turn on ADF indicator, and I will plug in. I will set frequency 3. What was the frequency? 3. 3. Are we correct? Okay, we have index showing us at 9 o'clock, so I will turn so long that my aircraft will be aligned with this needle. I can move. So I will arrange my Cessna to fly. We have to take. So now we are flying towards. We will be heading eventually when our needle is pointed directly to MR. We say we are homing, and since I set the wind to 0, we will be homing in straight line. Probably, let's see. Atlanta is tracking us, and since I don't want us to fly all day, I will skip this section later on. So this was our first flight where we were tracking our NDBs with our automatic direction finder. So let me just go off the runway. Here I will stop and we will take a look how we did. Let's take a break. Click. And here is our Volanta. And here we will see this is situation we had. We started in this direction and we were flying right about this way when I turned on, when I put on frequency for Mike Romeo, and then I start turning until we had direction direct to Mike Romeo. And here is Mike Romeo at this end. So we were flying directly to Mike Romeo. When the needle was changed, we surpassed this point, and then I turned right because I knew that our next waypoint is to the north, and then we were tracking Mike India waypoint, and we landed with a rather good landing. This is called homing. Now we will see homing. Let's say pretty much the same situation, but let's put some wind up north, and we will see how we will do this this way. So we are back. We are back in the cockpit, tuned in for Mike Romeo, and I will try to. I introduced quite some wind with several strong gusts because we have short distance. I want to see what happens. So now we are aligned with our Mike Romeo, and we are flying, let's say, directly to our goal. The wind is coming from our south side, so it is turning us away from the waypoint. We have to keep aligning us again with our waypoint, with our NDB. Turn left, and we are on our marker. So see, this is the way we were flying now to our Mike Romeo indicator. If we flew first directly to our this is the way we are flying now. Okay, there are some difficult winds, and here we change wind to even higher level. But here is the situation. When the wind is calm, we are tracking, homing our MR signal directly. With the wind, we were homing to Mike Romeo, always trying to face to our NDB, but we got drifted away and we got to our destination by a curve. So it took us longer, and we burned some more fuel. Let us take a closer look to our two ways of heading. One is in calm weather where there is no wind, and one is when the winds are strong. We are always trying to keep our ADF index to our NDB, but the way and the traveling distance are not the same, even close. When the wind is, we are turning to our waypoint, and we might just end up heading opposite direction we want to go. So when the winds are drifting us off our course, we should aim in opposite direction so that our traveling way will be to our NDB. So as we see in this video, we are not aligned with the ADF needle and our aircraft. That is because we have strong winds that are coming from our left side. We are facing more to the left so that we can eliminate the influence of winds. So as we see on our track on the right side of the screen, our traveling way is more straight to the waypoint if we keep our nose a little bit to the left, and with the wind from our left side, our direction heading is more or directly to our NDB, in this case Mike Romeo. When we are flying with adjusting our flying angle with the wind, we call this kind of flying tracking. That's because we are tracking our movement based on the winds that are blowing. So here we are flying in Cessna. It is foggy. Maribor Airport denied my request for landing since airport is currently IFR. I will try to land with my help of ADF, and I will select our first nav point. This is 3. And here we are. I will align myself with this heading, and I will fly directly to. Let's hear it. Mike Romeo. I will fly direct to Mike Romeo. Okay. The needle is big. We are off. Now let's go to 355. This is our Mike India. So we have to align ourselves to Mike India. We were Mike Romeo, so we are now heading to Mike India. Already to 2,500. Yes, that's Mike India.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Maribor Tower. QNH 29.902 wind calm, make straight in runway tree 2 right. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra wind calm, clear to land runway tree 2 right.
I will land
Clear to land runway tree 2 right, Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
right. And we are still waiting for auto. Here it is. Now I will start to descend, following our heading, like India. And we will descend around about 500 feet per minute. Here is already our runway in sight. So I can see now that I have to turn a little to the left. I can go down. I can turn landing lights on. And we are ready to land. We are under the clouds. So here we are under the clouds. The runway is clearly visual, so we can do visual landing, visual approach, and everything. But before we came under the clouds, we did a line on the runway heading almost, thanks to our ADF and NDBs. So our ground stations helped us to align and to find our way to the runway of Maribor. So thank you for watching, and now I have the pleasure to invite you to subscribe to my channel. It is free, and please do like this video. Of course, all kinds of comments are welcome. Thank you. Bye bye. Sierra 5 Kilo Oscar Victor.